Drink Cinema! Cheers.
Okay, welcome to another episode of Two Drink Cinema, where 2 out of 3 brothers review movies 2 drinks at a time. Hello, Brett.
Hello, Lee.
How are you this evening?
I am an emissary of the Gorgonites. How are you?
I don't know. I'm not good with the Tommy Lee Jones impersonations.
Not really sure what an emissary is, but we'll continue.
It's a person that is sent to talk to people.
Is it like in Birdcage, he's a cultural attaché to Greece? Is it a made-up thing?
No, it's not made up. It's a real thing.
Okay.
You know in 300, the guy that he kicks down the well? That's a very specific reference.
That's your Gorgonites. Sorry,
my
emissary.
Emissary, yeah.
Okay.
This is why...
Did not end well for him then, I guess.
Yeah, well, at least the Gorgonite didn't get kicked down a well.
Did you not hear what I said? That was a joke.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, my God. Thank you.
I hope those little sound effects actually make it from this interface onto our recording device.
If not, I can bring a drum set in. We got plenty of room.
Yeah. I've got an electronic drum kit.
I'll make a little soundboard.
I borrowed it from a friend of mine because I was like, I've always wanted to learn the drums. And he's like, my electronic drum kit at the moment is a clothes horse in my son's room. So would you like it? So I have one in the garage. I've played it all of once.
Yeah.
Speaking of once.
Speaking of playing with toys once.
Yeah.
Small Soldiers of 1998.
Is the movie that we're doing. 1998, which means it is 25, 35, 25.
35.
25.
25 because I'm 30. Yeah. Right.
It is 25 years old this year. And
you should be better at maths by now.
Oh, God. We have a drink for it.
We do have a drink that I completely made up.
Good.
Because surprisingly, there isn't a lot of cocktails inspired by this kind of weird...
By this kid's movie.
Rip-off G.I. Joe movie.
Yeah.
So what it has in it is I'm calling it a chip hazard.
Okay.
Yep. Don't ask me why.
Named after Tommy Lee Jones' character.
So it has gin, peach schnapps, lime cordial, orange juice, and topped off with a bit of bitters.
Oh, because he is bitter.
Yeah.
It is a DreamWorks film, not a Disney film, just so we're aware. It's
definitely not a Disney film.
And this is our response to Barbie.
Yeah.
Watching a toy-inspired movie.
Yes.
The other option was Robin Williams' Toys.
Or Toy Stories.
Oh, yeah, Toy
There's
Story.
like 5 of them.
4 of them. 5's coming. So this is a chip hazard.
Yeah, chip hazard, I'm calling
it. The quantities will be up on the socials, hopefully, this week.
Looks like orange juice.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, my God. Ooh. Gin.
It's, This is going to sound stupid. It's cold.
It's got bloody ice in it.
No, I know, but it's cold.
Well, so's Chip Hazard.
There's no mercy in this drink, that's for sure.
All I got was gin. Might have to crash hit yours tonight.
Yeah, all I got was orange juice. We got another episode to record after this too. So gin and peach schnapps.
I'm not getting much of the peach schnapps at all.
Listeners, please recommend us some cocktails that include Liquor 43. Because we haven't used that.
Not sure about that one, but we'll see. Well, it goes towards the end.
I don't mind it. It just tastes like orange juice with a bit of something in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. We don't give ratings anymore. Okay. Small Soldiers.
Nostalgia.
Yes, nostalgia. I wrote as my funny little précis, hopefully funny.
Précis.
Some war toys fought by some big bastard company get possessed and fuck shit up. That's what I remember of the movie.
That's what I remember as well.
It's not technically possession, as in Linda Blair.
Well, I think it is possession because, oh no, she doesn't even buy them, so she doesn't own them. So it's not even that form of possession.
No one's bought any toys.
No.
He just thieved them.
He just stole them from somebody else's shipment.
Yeah. Yeah, they were going to another shop.
They were going to another shop.
Okay, shall I just rip through the story?
Let's do it.
My first
There's
note,
not much of one, so...
My first note, Dennis Leary is an actual arsehole.
He's... I'm an asshole.
Yeah,
I'm an asshole.
He is an arsehole. And then my second thought was...
What a bloody 90s reference.
Yeah.
God.
My second thought was, Globotech, we're better than you, and we know it. I couldn't get Dodgeball out of my head. It's the same logo.
It's the same logo.
It's the same logo. So,
And the same military music over the top of it.
is Small Soldiers in the Dodgeball universe?
Ooh.
Because
White-
everything has to be in
White
the universe.
Goodman is the CEO of Globotech.
What Globotech is in Small
Globotech,
Soldiers.
yeah.
White Goodman took over from Dennis Leary.
He's also an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah. It's in the same universe. So we start with Globotech. We're better than Heartland Family Toys, and we know it. Taking over the little company,
Yep.
which is one of the points of the movies.
Yep.
Toys that are so smart that when kids play, they play back. AI, anyone? Ooh.
Tickle Me Elmo, anyone?
Does Tickle Me Elmo tickle you?
No, I think the puppeteer is a bit problematic.
Oh, dear.
Wait, was he?
Tickle
Continue.
Me Elmo didn't tickle back.
No.
I don't think the puppeteer is problematic. It's Sesame Street. It's very unlike a children's show to be problematic with it at all.
Yeah.
Maybe Barney was problematic, or am I just thinking about that episode of Family Guy?
Abuse allegations.
Oh, dear.
Ding, ding, ding.
Moving on. Toys that are so smart that when kids play, they play back. That's an AI reference now.
Yep.
We've got
They tried to warn us.
big toy company. We've got big company versus small toy maker.
Uh-huh.
We've got big toys in the little shop too.
Little toy store.
So we've got a lot of big and a lot of technology versus a lot of niceness, smallness, and morals.
Yes.
Because we've also got, what's his name next door? It's sillily alliterative.
Phil Filsey.
Phil Fimple,
Phil Fimple.
played by Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
I hate characters with the same name,
Right.
right? Write a name.
What if they already did and then they got Phil Hartman?
Yeah, no. I'm sorry.
Huh?
Yeah, okay.
It's not like her name was really Kirsten. That's odd.
Oh, Christy, totally different.
Oh, her name was Kirsten. Shit.
So we had Kirsten Dunst as Christy Fimple.
Yeah.
Stupid name. Gregory Smith as Alan Abernathy.
I love that he doesn't get top billing, but continue.
Yeah. Jay Moore as Larry Benson. Phil Hartman as Phil Fimple. Kevin Dunn, who's a bit of a that guy.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't name Kevin Dunn. But I'm like, oh, he's funny.
I saw the name
Yes.
and I was like, I've seen him in something.
Dennis Leary. David Cross is another person that you would know.
Yep.
Wendy Sharl is a bit of another... Oh, her.
She is the voice of Francine Smith in American Dad.
Oh, okay. Then other big casts. Frank Langella is
Yes.
Archer, the Gorgonite.
Yeah.
Christopher Guest is one
Yeah.
of the Gorgonites.
There was
Michael
some
McKean.
big names of
well, it's basically... That's like a Christopher Guest. It's Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, and Harry Shearer.
Yeah.
So did they just record this in between takes of waiting for Guffman or something?
So those three were all, those movies. But then the other side of it
Yep.
were part of like the Magnificent Seven.
Oh, yeah.
Most of them are those voices.
So it's a cast.
Yeah.
Because, like, then the Commandos, Tommy Lee Jones, George Kennedy, Jim Brown, Ernest Borgnine,
Yes.
Clint Walker, and Bruce Dern.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're the Magnificent Seven with Tommy Lee Jones. And then the Gwendy dolls are voiced by
Yes.
Sarah Michelle Gellar and Christina Ricci.
There was one point they were talking and I was like, that was Buffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's the cast. We've got big versus little in a number of ways because we've got Globotech, We're Better Than You and We Know It versus Heartland, and then them versus the little not mom and pop and belligerent son.
Yeah.
pop store and he's selling war toys. Then
I have some thoughts on that.
there's quiet wanting to move to the suburbs dad
Yep.
versus techno dad. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of verses going on. But then that is all kind of put aside because then the point of the movie becomes a bit like the American military really is fucking dead set on killing anyone.
Yep.
And in making this movie...
You're different. Bang.
Yeah, in making this movie, Joe Dante and the writers did not shy away from being like, Marines will kill anyone as long as you tell them to.
Yep.
Because this is the way they are programmed.
Yeah, they're programmed just to kill.
And it's like
their enemies.
Marines are just following orders.
Yep.
This in like the late 70s, early 80s, when everyone was still kind of hating on Vietnam,
Yeah.
would have killed it.
Yep.
Like this, you could watch in a double with Apocalypse Now. Like,
I mean, it's got the same music in it.
yeah. So we get some of the normal kids' movies. They move into the small town.
Yep.
Alan Abernathy's not okay about it until he meets the cute girl.
Yep.
Who really, like, character-wise, not very deep. Kirsten Dunst's character.
Nope.
She's really just there to be pretty.
Yep.
Even though she can act.
She can act. By this stage, she'd already done Interview with the Vampire and Jumanji.
Yeah. So she can. That's why she got top billing.
Little Women. Was that before this? Yep.
I think so, yeah.
So she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, but she's there just as pretty. But she has a boyfriend. And she says she only dates older guys. Awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand
Um,
that, but anyway.
Look, I don't have a lot to say. I have quite a lot of notes, but I don't have a lot to say about the story because there's this setup of like big versus little and tech versus no tech, but really it's just a vehicle for the writers and Joe Dante to be like, this is how we're programming our American military to kill anyone that somebody has told them is different.
Because it's also big versus small in terms of big Marines,
Have weapons.
blah, blah, versus Gorgonites, I am peaceful.
But that all...
I am peaceful.
That all kind of falls a little bit to the wayside when Tommy Lee Jones walks in front of the flag. And then from then on, it's just like, look at how fucking pre-programmed the American military is.
I love how easy it is to buy military-grade chips off the internet in 1998.
Well, now he's part of the Globo Tech family.
Yeah. It's
He can
just
just
like-
do whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it's not off the internet. It's their internal system. He didn't get on Amazon.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Yeah.
Still, where's the clearance? If I need to buy something internally in my work, I need to go through 3 people.
Yeah. I have to pay for printing at my work.
Oh, really?
Not personally, but I have a printing budget.
Oh, okay.
But this guy can just order
order
100,000
military chips.
Yeah. Fucking Carter was a throwback.
Oh, when he
Keeper
said
of Encarta.
I went, oh my gosh.
Alan, Keeper of Encarta. One issue I had.
Very 90s.
Yeah, very 90s.
Just one issue? Or one of the many issues? that
Okay,
you had?
I'm trying to go about it in some kind of order, but the story, and I will say some good things about it a little bit later.
Okay.
Okay, why?
We have to wait for them.
Yeah, why do the Marines straight away on, right? They're straight away just like talking each other, mobilize, following orders, ready to go. The Gorgonite says, I am the emissary of the planet Gorgon. 6 times.
You have to interact with me before I...
Well, yeah, it has to have... 6
He's an
times he
emissary, he
seems
just
like
wants to
he's a
talk.
normal toy,
Yeah.
and then eventually gets it. I don't get that.
Whereas Chib Hazard's just punching straight out of the box.
Yeah, he's just straight away a Marine
Sounds
walking in front of a flag jigsaw, which was clever.
I did like that.
But also how they just like shoved all those famous war speeches together.
Yeah. And
Like-
also, though, the other thing I had, there was obviously a lot of references
Yes.
Right. And a lot of it was the weird one. That's like a Tassie devil. That's all like
Yeah.
hectic. Would saying like quotes from other movies and stuff.
I'm bringing that up later
Okay.
when I talk about dialogue
Right.
and worst lines.
There's a few.
The effects are very good, though.
Yeah, I thought that the animatronics of the toys looked pretty good.
And their integration of that into the movie. It's not Roger Rabbit,
No.
but it's good.
No.
And there's definitely times where you're like, well, they've just cable tied him onto the back of the bike.
Oh,
But
yes.
but then you get the CG of them talking. So, all right, ripping through the story. Kids move to town, doesn't like it. Kid's stuck in the shop, even though for some reason the dad hates the kid and doesn't think he can do anything. He's left him in charge of the shop,
Hocus pocus. Yeah.
which is not a good idea.
Get rid of the shop and that's hocus pocus. Yep.
The first thing he does is steal a bunch of toys that the dad has said he's not going to sell.
Uh-huh.
Those toys are fucked up,
Uh-huh.
but he meets Kirsten Dunst, who's pretty.
Hocus pocus.
Yep. Their toys fuck up everything, and Kirsten Dunst helps him, even though she doesn't really like him.
But she does?
They have their moment where they get to know each other, but it is clunky as.
Bit of a tease, Kirsten.
Yeah, but that dialogue in that scene where they're re-putting together the shop is clunky.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like they're there.
Do you like
and then
Led
she's
Zeppelin?
like, do you like Led Zeppelin? They are my favourite band. Somebody told me to say that to you.
Yeah.
He's like, yes, I really do like them. You are not like a normal girl.
Yeah.
And then they're in love.
Yeah, that's it.
A line later, I'm going to come back to.
Okay.
Okay. Speaking of clunky dialogue and also following on from her saying...
Yeah.
Also, her saying to him, I only date older guys. A little bit too much. All right. That's all fucked up. Right. Alan's fucked the shop up. Then it goes very quickly, like the toys are real and stuff's got to happen.
Uh-huh.
The mum, I liked when the mum was like, are you on crank?
Yeah.
And then she's
You
like,
on meth?
crystal
You on
meth?
Crystal meth? And I was like, wow, crystal meth in the 90s.
Yeah. Even pre-Heisenberg.
Crank. Sorry, it's just crank.
Yeah.
It's such a mum word for it.
Yeah, yeah. Are you on crank?
Yeah.
Are you doing the cocaine? There's another movie where it's like that. I'm sure you are smoking the marijuana. There's a mum that... I'm
Right.
sure there's plenty of
Yes.
movies where mums don't quite know the slang terms. Not that I do. Then, yeah, it's a little bit back and forth of like shit's going wrong, and then the people at Heartland are realising what they've fucked up by putting an AI chip.
Yes.
AI again.
Mm-hmm.
We're all thinking Terminator. ChatGPT is going to be Terminator.
Yeah.
Maybe
Nah.
ChatGPT could be Chip Hazard.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And you know what? There's a chip in him and it's hazardous.
Yeah.
I
All right.
only just thought of that then.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's probably the only thing the writers thought of.
I will say, when writing things, they came up with it. I was kind of like, anything where they have to come up with a new species or language or
Yep.
planet is impressive. But no, because it was literally like, they are from Gorgon. They're called Gorgonites. They don't do anything.
Yeah, they don't have a culture.
It was like they're an artful, like peaceful thing. They're a peaceful people that don't do anything.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. I sometimes think about when I'm writing, if I have to come up with other worlds, peoples, whatever, what I'm going to call them. And it's very easy to just go Gorgon, Gorgonite,
Yep.
Mars, Martian,
Uh-huh.
Jupiterians.
Oh, no, nobody's from Jupiter.
They could be. We haven't looked.
Saturnians.
Urani.
Uranians.
Uranians.
Like Russians?
I was thinking like Asians. Uranians.
Venusians.
Venusians.
Mercurians.
Venusian blinds.
We could be Martians soon. Who knows?
We are Earthlings. Well, if Elon Musk gets his way,
Oh, I don't know.
he'll probably rename Mars X.
Fucking idiot. Moving on.
Me or him? Both.
Moving on from Elon Musk.
Okay. But it's very... We know how the movie's going to end.
Yep.
Because the guy in the lab says, it is an EMP that will end the chip. Like, oh, okay. So they're going to have to get the Nebuchadnezzar from the Matrix up to sort him out. I found it... Okay, then we get good military shit. We get this line. They can only learn within their programming.
Yes.
Which is AI, but also is Marines.
Yep.
Like Marines, sorry to any Marines that are listening, but the way the military generally works is you only learn things that are relevant to the people that you have to kill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is one of the major points of the movie. Bit of back and forth. More shit's getting shot by the Marines, and they're building up their arsenal from Phil Fimple's garage because he's the tech guy. Now, tell me what you think about Kirsten Dunst cheating on her boyfriend unofficially.
I don't know.
I only date older guys unless it's unofficial. So not only is she dating a younger guy, but she's cheating on her boyfriend unofficially.
Well, he doesn't say much, the boyfriend.
Well, I've got... The one thing he does says is in my worst lines nomination.
Kirsten Dunst can do no wrong in my 90s child mind.
That's why I'm asking you what you think.
But I didn't like that. Overall, as an adult, this movie...
It's a little bit too adult in the kids' romances.
Yeah.
I've read a lot about the show Boy Meets World. I haven't watched any of it, right? This is relevant.
Okay.
Because the cast of Boy Meets World...
Is that the one where it's the over... No, that's Wonder Years. Boy Meets World is with the kid in Kirk Cameron. Is he...
Boy Meets World is Ben Savage.
Oh, Ben Savage.
Yeah.
Right.
There were 7 seasons of it starting in 1993.
Yep.
And I remember there was a bit of an interview that came across my TikTok of them kind of saying there were some storylines that we had to push back on because it was adult writers.
Yep.
And like there were a couple of like storylines where this is a little bit further than Small Soldiers. A couple of storylines where the actors were like, this is not sending the right message. Like there was one where they were like, it's 1995. We should, if we're having sex in this episode, we should be also talking about condoms and stuff. So I think this is, to a lesser extent, a little bit adults writing kids.
Yeah.
Because she's willing to cheat on her boyfriend unofficially. Then, when it gets to the ride on lawnmower at the end, she says, get on.
Yeah.
And she says, hop on. And then she says, is this going to be a theme of our relationship? Maybe it was my dirty mind that took that to be a little bit...
She had the scooter.
Yeah, I know. But that together with a little bit of the overly sexual couple of other things was a little bit much for me. Anyway.
It's all that Led Zeppelin.
Also overly adult and questionable is that the commandos drug the mum.
Yep.
And then make hot soldiers out of the Gwendy dolls.
Bloody weird.
Freaky. Then we have some more technology versus niceness of families and of corporations.
Yep.
The Gwendy dolls, once they're made, they're freaky.
They were
half
weird.
melted faces, no hair, but the lines that they had were funny.
Yeah.
We'll all get facials, and then one has no face. Did I overpluck my eyebrows?
Yeah.
Those lines were funny.
Which I think was partially probably just Sarah Michelle Gellar and Christina Ricci going into a thing like, let's just say funny stuff.
Yeah, let's say stuff.
We're not getting paid for this.
Here is a couple of good things. Mm-hmm. It has all of the tropes of a war movie.
Yeah.
And if you just kind of look at the war bits of the movie, it's got a war movie vibe about it. Like there's goodies and baddies, and in this case, it's the American military that are baddies.
Exactly.
And
Political
then
commentary.
they take a hostage. They have to go behind enemy lines.
Yep.
One team is outgunned by the other team, and they have to be smart in order to overcome them.
Yep, brains not brawn.
Yeah, there's all of those kind of things that make it a good movie in terms of warfare, and then Ride of the Valkyries.
Yeah.
It's just like, yep, here you go,
Yes.
war movie.
Comment. Yeah.
And then that also goes with the comment of they can only learn within the parameters of their programming.
Yes.
When they first get out of Phil Fimple's garage, they fuck a lot of shit up.
Oh, yeah.
They, like, destroy things.
I don't understand how a fully grown teenager is so easily overpowered by a toy.
But then a fully grown teenager gets shot with corn holders.
Yep.
And just pulls them out and runs off.
Yeah. That was funny, though.
That was. I did like... Yeah, I found it... There were a couple of moments where it was just like, it's just a toy.
Yeah, like, kick it away.
Yeah. It's this tall. 12 inches tall.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. 10 inch, I don't know.
Chuck it in the garbage disposal.
Well, we did.
We tried that.
Yeah, it only got half of him done. Yeah, major destruction, and as soon as they come out of the garage.
I don't think he was one of their names, was he?
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah.
From the time they come out of the garage, they just destroy.
Then it's just war. It's full-blown war.
Until the mum gets the tennis racket.
Yeah,
and he's getting some of that back.
Nice forehand.
Nice forehand, honey. Then we get
though
another comment about
strings,
warfare.
It's on fire.
Yeah, true. We get another comment about warfare just towards the end.
Oh, about...
When Tommy Lee Jones says to the Gorgonite, what are your guts like? And he says, the same as yours.
Ooh.
And you're like, ooh, killing.
Probably not. You're a different species.
But they're wires and shit.
Yeah,
that's what he means.
Yeah.
Wire and the same chip in the head.
Yeah. I'm just programmed differently.
Yes. So that's definitely a
I'm
comment.
not bad. I'm just drawn
on
that
the
way.
warfare. Then Dennis Leary comes and just pays everyone off. And we're not going to learn from our mistakes.
Yep.
We're just going to... War is a $1 trillion industry.
Yes.
And we're just going to pay people.
My thing was like, I wish at the end when it was like, you can't just give us money. And then I wish somebody was like, no. I just said, rather than just like, oh, no, that's fine. I'll take it.
But that's not the point of the movie.
Obviously, Phil Fimple was going to do it.
Phil Fimple was always going to take the
But
money.
the other dad, he's a struggling small business owner.
That's true. That's very topical. The point of the movie is Dennis Leary's not going to learn his lesson.
Nope.
And money will let you get away with things.
The other
And that's the end of the movie.
The other issue I kind of had with the parents of...
It's early 90s, so they're allowed to be absent in Hollywood.
Kid. I forgot his name.
Alan,
yep.
the keeper of Encarta.
They don't trust Alan.
Yeah.
Alan's a screw-up.
He burnt down his school.
Right?
According to the
He's a
rumours.
kid in the 90s that rides a bike and has a middle part. He's a screw-up. Right? That's just Hollywood law.
He's either a screw-up or a star.
Yeah, he's either a screw-up or in a boy band.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he can't sing. But that didn't stop Nick Lachey.
Ooh.
Why did they leave him in charge of the shop? And then why were they like...
That's what I said too.
You left him in charge. You're 10. Well, how
Yeah.
old is he?
Child labour laws?
Yeah. You're 10.
13.
You're a screw-up and you're 13. We're going to leave you in charge of the store and then get angry when you screw up because you're a screw-up.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Oh, why didn't you sell this? It's like, what do you mean, Dad?
Well, according to the plot on Wikipedia, it just says teenager Alan Abernathy.
Well, I don't even know if he's 13.
Well, he's old enough to, I don't know, hook up with Kirsten Dunst.
Well, she prefers older guys. That was my other issue with it. Parents are dumb. But I've said that a lot about movies.
I think this is the...
Maybe that's a Joe Dante movie
I
thing.
think this is the latest that we can accept shit parents. Like the 80s, done.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Gremlins, Joe Dante.
Yeah.
Gremlins,
Absent.
Goonies,
Yep.
absent parents.
Yep.
Right?
E.T.
90s a little bit different.
Uh-huh.
Jumanji, absent parents.
They died.
No. Oh, no, Alan's parents went out for dinner. And we're just, here, have this
Mr.
possessed
Parrish.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also auntie, parent figure,
Oh.
in the now time,
Yeah.
absent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When are we watching Jumanji?
When was Jumanji come out?
1995.
We can watch it at any time. I know we're doing
Okay, thank you,
anniversaries.
listeners. We're doing Jumanji instead.
Yeah. We can do it because I really want to watch A Few Good Men,
Oh, okay.
which just
That's
popped
random.
into my head. 1992, we missed it. That was last year.
What do you think of the Marines? Is that why?
Yeah. No, because I listened to that podcast on My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah.
And they say any courtroom drama needs a "Did you order the code red?"
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
And that is Marissa Tomei. Oh, no, that's the Grits in My Cousin Vinny.
Okay.
Okay. One other comment, that the Spice Girls were psychological torture.
Oh, yeah.
When they're
I did
playing the
find that
music.
funny when they were playing the
Yes.
music.
All right, yeah.
I love this song.
Yeah,
It's
the
just-
mum.
I think
Okay.
she was still a bit high.
In terms of characters, so I went through the story. The story is very military tropey,
Yep.
but a bit subversive in talking about programming / following orders for the Marines.
Yeah.
The Tommy Lee Jones is great
Yeah,
at that
yeah,
Chip
yeah.
Hazard character. It's great for him. But like I said, Kirsten Dunst's character is not very deep, and he's just a pretty girl
Yeah.
that is there for him to love. She doesn't really even do anything other than get kidnapped.
And help
drive the
and
lawnmower.
help it clean up.
Yeah. So, but Alan is good. He's okay.
Yeah.
He
You
can
can see
act, I
he's
think.
trying to not be a screw-up 90s kid.
Yeah. But he did burn his school down. So you just got to sometimes kind of deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gregory Smith, not a terrible actor.
No, I thought the acting wasn't that bad, really, considering it's not much of a script.
One line. Everything's going to be owned by one big company. Goodbye, microbreweries.
Yeah. It did not age well, did it?
So it's 100% right, but also 100% wrong.
Yeah, there's no in-between.
Yeah. You're
Nowadays,
either a
there's-
microbrewery
you're a microbrewery or you're Disney.
or a multinational.
Yeah.
You're either owned by Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, or Disney, or you're a microbrewery.
Yeah.
Like,
Or you're owned by yourself.
there's nothing in between. Sometimes you're a microbrewery owned by Asahi. Like, you're
yeah,
owned by
yeah,
a big
yeah.
company.
Yeah.
A couple of... okay, I'm not going to take this line away from you. I'm going to skip to the next one. We need to negotiate the surrender of the Gorgonzolas. Was a line that I remember. Some of the jokes that the Gorgonites make are funny,
Yeah.
but don't work with their characters.
No.
Like, how are they going to know Titanic
Exactly.
at the end of the movie? Like,
Unless they did spend all night on Encarta and they just happened to have Encarta 97 that it had Titanic owned.
they could have, or they could have flicked on the TV and Titanic
don't see an iceberg.
Titanic was probably showing on the TV at some point
true.
in the
Yeah.
couple of days that they were there. Your favourite line? You've already said it.
I'm not a man.
Oh, I laughed out loud.
Because that's like the one line that still to this day we quote.
I'm not a man.
I'm not a man. Because I don't know, it was the funniest thing when I was 10.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know why.
But anyway, that's
Anyway, I was 10. It was a confusing time. You know, it was 1998. This Millennium Bug thing was coming up. And I just didn't know.
We were stressed.
I was playing Microsoft Golf. I didn't know what was happening.
Playing Star Wars chess.
Like Star Wars chess.
What a game.
That was a good R2D2.
That was great. I'm isolating that one.
good.
Okay, that's it for the story. It's basic AF.
Yeah. Do you want to know what else is basic?
The impact.
The cultural impact of this movie. Look, awards, blank.
Zilch.
Except, I think, Kids Awards, he was an all right actor.
Did he get slimed at the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice?
I don't think they had that there. In terms of remakes and inspiration kind of stuff, a remake of Small Soldiers was in development by Fox, and it was going to be called Toymageddon. The script was purchased in 2014, and some director was going to produce it.
Some director.
I've never heard of Justin Lin. The story was described to be set in a toy factory that begins to run amok. At that time, it was not explicitly stated to be a remake of Small Soldiers.
Justin Lin is a Taiwanese-American film director who has done Fast and Furiouses.
Yep.
Well, actually, Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious, Fast
So
X,
he's
Fast 6, Fast 5, F9. Yeah.
Due to the acquisition of 21st Century Fox by Disney on March 2019, Disney later in August cancelled the film along with over 200 other projects, which revealed the film was intended as a remake of Small Soldiers. So it was almost going to happen, but then Disney were like, no, we've got to make 15 more series based on Marvel Comics. We don't have time for this.
Toymageddon could have been Robin Williams' career after the movie Toys.
Yeah, that's true.
Could have been the end of it.
It was the last film for Phil Hartman.
Oh, yeah, because he died.
Yeah. A filmmaker named Gregory P. Grant filed a lawsuit against Steven Spielberg, DreamWorks, and Universal Pictures for copying his film Ode to G.I. Joe, which played at film festivals and earned him a Student Academy Award.
Yeah, right.
So it's a rip-off of G.I. Joe. Chip Hazard is G.I. Joe.
Yeah, yeah.
So he made some student film about this is what G.I. Joe did. He basically made a movie with shot-by-shot of G.I. Joe action figures.
Why did he sue Spielberg?
Because of G.I. Joe. Because he produced it?
Oh, okay.
Did he?
He didn't produce Small Soldiers.
Yeah, I don't know why he sued Steven Spielberg. Maybe just...
Directed by Joe Dante, written by Gavin Scott, Adam Rifkin, Ted Elliott, Terry Rossio, produced by Michael Fennell and Colin Wilson.
Yep. And that is the end of my segment.
Okay.
Didn't launch anyone.
Amblin Entertainment was one of the production companies.
Okay.
Even though he wasn't listed as a producer, my apologies. That's it.
Pretty much.
Okay. Remember Phil Hartman in News Radio?
I remember Phil Hartman as...
Lionel Hutz.
And Troy McClure.
Troy McClure.
I might remember him from such films as...
Small Soldiers.
I
remember him in News Radio. Yeah, great show. But he's also, like, he was SNL.
Yeah.
And before that...
He was murdered.
Pee Wee Herman.
He was murdered.
Pee Wee Herman died.
What now?
No, was it?
No, that was the guy from Euphoria, Lee.
Yeah. No, Paul Rubens.
He died?
Played Pee Wee Herman, died.
When?
Like...
Now?
17 hours ago, according to The Guardian.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like a day ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go. Pour one out for Pee Wee.
Yeah. Sorry to bring you down, everybody. I
know this episode was going really well.
Yeah, any Pee Wee Herman fans that haven't heard the news and are listening to the podcast, my apologies.
Sorry.
To breaking it to you in this way.
Look, that's it for me.
Yeah, okay. Shall we do some awards?
Let's do some awards.
I've not got any notes. Really. I couldn't tell you an extra in the film.
I wrote guy who nearly gets run over by Alan. There's always a kid on a bike that nearly runs someone over.
Yeah, true.
And then there's a grandma looking in the toy shop window, and this kid like pulls her away. It's like, Mum, they never have anything good in there. I thought that was bad.
Yeah.
That's a bad extra.
Yep.
I wrote anyone in the neighborhood that doesn't look and see what's going on when the soldiers blow up the power lines.
Can I go one step before that?
Mm-hmm.
Phil Fimple's garage explodes and no one calls the cops.
Nobody does anything. And then I said at the end...
Is it a hocus pocus situation where they're all being bewitched at a dance down the road?
Oh.
Yeah.
Or
they're all at their Gotham Christmas ball like in Batman Returns.
Should have worn my Hocus Pocus t-shirt. I wrote guy who whispers in assistant's ear at the end. So Dennis Leary's assistant gets to the house. And he's like, he's
Yeah.
on his way. And then an assistant just goes over and whispers.
In Dennis Leary's ear.
No, in her ear.
Oh, okay.
The assistant. But doesn't whisper. He just goes over to her ear and puts his hand up and then walks off.
Okay.
Doesn't actually have time there to be whisper anything important.
That's the Andy Millman
Yeah.
worst extra award.
He just like goes, he literally just goes over to her. He goes,
Because that's up there with the guy who in Indiana Jones goes to offer the tray of drinks to Indy and then goes away before Indy even looks.
yeah.
Okay, that's the Andy Millman worst extra award for small soldiers.
Yeah.
Best extra?
I wrote in there's all shit's going down at the Fimples or something, and there is a big bang or there's loud music or maybe it's the Spice Girls. And cuts to this old couple, then like next door neighbours, and they just go, Fimple.
Oh, yeah.
That was all I wrote.
And it's them.
But there were no other kind of extras.
It's a very lean movie in terms of personnel.
Yeah.
Because
they're fucking toys.
I feel like they spend all their money on Tommy Lee Jones and the CGI. All right, so that's the Estelle Reiner Best Extra
Could have given
Award.
it to a Gwendy doll, but...
That's true. What about the dog? Or the cat? I did think about Best Extra was the cat.
What
'Cause
about...
the cat actually acted well with the CG toys.
What about the Gorgonite that's just an eyeball with arms? It doesn't do anything.
Yeah. I don't know why they're all so
Hope
different.
we don't run into an iceberg.
Like if you invaded Earth,
Uh-huh.
I guess you might not pick 6 humans. Like you might pick a human and a cow
an elephant.
and a giraffe and
Yeah. And a cat.
yeah. So that's okay. I'll allow it.
Okay, good.
Okay.
You're allowing a fictional thing to have more than one species.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Okay. I didn't cry.
Okay, good.
All right, there's nothing there.
That's great.
Worst line. Kirsten Dunster's boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
His only line, pretty much,
Yep.
is he says, "You are such a major hottie." That's the best thing he can come up
That
with
is
to say to his
so
girlfriend.
Hot guy 90s speak.
Yeah, it's 100%. But then he's also like, he's meant to be this cool guy,
Yeah.
but then he's standing outside the house trying to make up an excuse to go back in.
Yeah, fucking dumb.
If I was Phil Fimple, I would not be letting that guy anywhere near my daughter.
Phil Fimple doesn't seem... Oh, no, they do get along.
He's so old.
Phil Fimple?
No, the boyfriend.
Yeah.
And he rides a motorbike.
Yeah, and she just rides a scooter.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm not letting my daughter
I wrote
date anyone that rides a motorbike.
at the start,
Yep.
Dennis Leary arrives at the toy factory. Right? And David Cross
Yep.
was like, oh, God, he's early. Blah, blah, blah. And then they're in this meeting in a very impressive boardroom for such a small company.
Yes.
It's bigger than the boardroom at my work.
Well, look, it's bigger than the rest of the office.
Yep. And then he's like, oh, I'm such and such. How are you? And Dennis Leary goes, I'm late. No, but you were early.
Yeah, you're also early.
So I didn't like that.
No. It does show his arrogance, though.
Yeah. Kirsten Dunst. She walks in and then the toys have gone or have ransacked the toy store.
Yep.
And her first question, are you pulling some kind of insurance scam?
But she also comes in, sees the store like that, and goes, I want to pick up my toys. Other shit's happening.
Yeah,
Christy?
You're not quite at the top of my to-do list. Well, he probably is on her to-do list, but anyway.
I wanted to say, worst line, have I got a shock for you?
Worst line, can I talk to a machine?
I'm not a ma'am.
Worst line, toys is hell. I can't remember who said it.
And I'm assuming that have I got a shock for you is when he's putting him between the zappers.
What are you packing, Tiny? Packing you.
I've written
These things I can't even remember where they came.
Have I got a shock for you, you stupid toy? Like that, I don't like it.
Toys
I'm
is
voting
hell.
for that one.
Right.
Toys is hell. I don't know.
I think it's right at the end. Does Dennis Leary say it? Toys is hell. Gosh, there's a few options.
I don't know.
I'm happy to go with Am I a Shock for You? I mean, have I got a shock
Have
for
I
you?
got a shock for you, you stupid toy?
Yeah.
It just doesn't... It's just corny. It's too corny for me.
Yeah.
And it's a fairly corny moment.
Speaking
All
of-
right, so that's the Halle Berry X-Men worst line. Have I got a shock for you, you stupid toy?
Yep.
Most iconic scene, the Star Wars I'm Your Father, most iconic scene. Is it... I was almost going to say Tommy Lee Jones marching in front of the flag, but that's not true because that's an iconic scene from Patton.
Another movie. Yeah.
So that doesn't
Well, then
count.
I was also going to say the battle scene with Riley of the Valkyries, but that's also an iconic scene from another movie. So I don't...
You joked about it and said
Am I
it's the
ma'am?
mum playing tennis.
Yeah. I think that's when I was that young and I was playing tennis. And then in my
Yeah.
mind, then I was like, I could do that.
Yeah, I could stand at the front window and defend the house
Yeah.
from... It would have been those spies up the road that would have sent the toys.
That's right.
Yeah,
We had spies up the
the
road.
guy that walked his
He
cat.
walked his cat.
So are we saying that the most iconic scene
No,
from
it
Small
can't be.
Soldiers is the mum hitting back the tennis
I
balls?
think the most iconic scene is when they rip off Apocalypse Now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the Ride of the Valkyries.
Because that is 100% in the trailer. I haven't seen the trailer.
Yeah. No, that is
But
the trailer.
you would put that is the trailer.
The trailer is a bit of David Cross, a bit of Alan Abernathy.
where
and-
toys can think for themselves, but it's not Toy Story. It's in a bad way.
I wrote this in the notes for Free Willy
Uh-huh.
because I watched the trailer for Free Willy before I watched Free Willy.
Okay.
I miss movie voice guy. I
Really?
miss trailers with movie voices.
Right.
Because now it's just music and scenes.
You know what I miss? Do you remember there was like an ad that's like about... This is very random that just popped into my...
Okay.
It's an ad about movie ratings.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a family on a couch and it's G.
I saw that recently.
And then the youngest kid goes and it's PG-13
Yep.
or something. And then it's like, and the kid's covering
They
her
shield
eyes.
the eyes. Yep.
And then it's like MA 15 plus and it's just the parents snuggling up under a blanket.
Yep. And then it's R, and the dad loves it, but the mum's like, "Oh, you dirty bastard."
It's and
Yeah.
the dad's like sitting there with a pillow on his crotch.
That's not at home though. They're standing in the video shop.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
in the video shop.
I saw it recently because there was a news report because the Office of Film and Literature Classification is changing their ratings a little bit.
Yeah.
They're keeping
Right.
the levels, but they're putting more tobacco depictions.
Oh, good.
And
Severe weather.
warnings like
Yeah.
that in, yeah.
Yeah.
Mild themes.
Mild themes.
No, they're going to be a bit more
say-
specific than mild
MA
themes.
Oppenheimer,
Yep.
MA 15 plus.
Okay.
And one of the things was also, spoiler alert, right?
Tits.
No, no,
Oh.
no. But it was like strong themes, suicide scene.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk in the writing community about content warnings.
Yeah.
And
I was watching
I
a thing on
believe in
TikTok
content
today
warnings.
about this news thing about some child molester. Content warning. And it had a content warning on the start of the TikTok.
Yeah, there's two schools of thought a bit because it's a bit of like you want your audience to be prepared for things that come up, but you don't want to spoil.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a tough one. And I listened to a podcast that just talks about gay fiction. And they have a content warning.
The movie, not the actual
No, yeah.
historical event.
They have a content warning on one of their books about homophobia. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're not writing a queer book if there's not homophobia in there.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a... They were like, I don't want my reader to come in a really good mood and not be prepared and then feel like crap. But also, if you go into it in a not mentally prepared to deal with the heavy stuff
Yeah.
mood, you're not going to enjoy the content.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's a bit of a
But
thing
then
at the moment.
I'm not going to enjoy the content if I'm reading.
Full stop.
Yeah. If I'm reading, probably true. No, but if I'm reading something and it says that the warning this has homophobia in it, I'm just going to be like, and I'm going to turn around, just going to be like, you know,
Yeah. But I'm also
it'll
not
be
going to
like
enjoy
that scene in Atonement. So see you,
F.A.
yeah,
I also am not going to enjoy the content if it's spoiled.
exactly.
Also, yeah, if it says MA 15 plus for self-harm, I'm just going to spend an hour and 45 minutes waiting for someone to harm themselves.
Yeah, every time somebody pops up on the screen, I'm like, it's going to be you.
Someone runs a bath, I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
What's going to happen?
yeah.
All right, that's nothing to do with small soldiers.
Anyway, that
and it
veered
is
away.
Only PG-13, which is Joe
Apologies.
Dante's wheelhouse.
Yeah, apologies, listeners. Look, this was completely self-indulgent nostalgia.
Yeah. And look, let's be honest, it was going to cost people $3, so there's not a huge chance that people have paid to watch it.
Yeah, so next week, what's some other pure
I
indulgent?
know, what is... Well, I've said I want to watch...
You want to watch Few Good Men, I want to watch Jumanji.
So
gone in
let's
two completely different ways.
have a look at what is next.
I feel like it should be something good.
Yeah, well, we've had a little...
Slump.
Okay, so I reckon we've got two choices for what we do next.
Okay.
Both were released on the 15th of July, 1988.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Big.
So it was a Barbenheimer weekend.
Oh,
All right?
beaches.
But it was A Fish Called Wanda, and there's something about Mary.
Oh, wow. No, something about Mary's 98.
Oh, yeah. It's a long way away, my screen. So Fish Called Wanda was 15th of July, 1988.
Yeah.
And There's Something About Mary was 15th of July, 1998. So we've got those two to choose from, or we could go to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Or, stay tuned, listeners. It'll be a surprise.
Ooh. Okay. Thanks for listening to another episode of Two Drink Cinema. If you'd like to follow us on the socials, you can do so at what is it? At 2 out of 3 brothers.
Yes.
Or there's a link to join our Facebook group in the episode description. Thank you, Brett.
Thanks, Lee. Cheers. Thanks for listening to Two Drink Cinema. We would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this podcast was produced and pay our respects to elders past and present.
If you'd like to support the podcast, either leave a tip or become a member for early access to these episodes by using the link in the show notes.
Join the Facebook group for more chat about the movies we review, and make sure you follow us on the socials to keep up to date.
Hit the subscribe button and leave us a review on your podcast app.
Happy viewing and drink responsibly.